All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tank Kramer with Brandman Brandon, Brian DeGrizzly, and we are going to talk about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. So before we get into some of the good, some of the bad, and our official ratings, Brian, you got a quick synopsis,
Sure.
breakdown what it is?
All right. Ethan Hunt and the MIF team must track down a terrifying new weapon that threatens all of humanity and if it falls into the wrong hands. With the control of the future and the fate of the world at stake, a deadly race around the globe begins. Confronted by a mysterious, all-powerful, knowing enemy, Ethan is forced to consider that nothing can matter more than the mission, not even the lives of those he cares about most. Dun-dun-dun.
Cool. So we'll start off with some of the good stuff that we liked about the movie. We'll start with Brandon, Brian, then myself. What you got?
First and foremost, this is probably one of my favorite movies of the summer so far. I get fonder of the Mission Impossible movies with each one. I think they, to an extent, they very much step their game up with each one in terms of like the action, the scope. Tom Cruise still bringing in his A game. To think they've been doing these movies for 27 years at this point, right? And still going very, very strong. I like that Christopher McQuarrie, who's done he did this one and the last two. He came in at Rogue Nation, and he did Dead Reckoning, or obviously Dead Reckoning, and Fallout too. I kind of like that. I kind of like that his take on Mission Impossible is a little more that they're a little more serialized or like interconnected. Before he came into the picture, it seemed like they all just kind of stand on their own. They're all very much like standalone movies. So I kind of like that they have this kind of like consistent flow ever since he entered the picture. Yet they can still kind of stand on their own. But well acted. It left me wanting more for sure. I can't wait for part 2 next year.
Yeah.
Agreed. And just the action sequences, once again, like I said, just amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Brian?
Obviously, I'm going to rebrand Summer. All blockbusters should be Tom Cruise blockbusters. He is the blockbuster king right now. We're going to give him. Will Smith had it back in 1996 when he had Independence Day and Men in Black and all that stuff, and he lost it when he had Wild Wild West. And we've held it on for a long time. And I won't give the belt back to Tom Cruise because he's now done it. He's done it again. This movie is going to make $1 billion or close to it. It's going to be like $700, $800 million, something like that. He's going to be one of the top movies of the year. It is my third favorite movie already for this year. I love the fact that, in the whole franchise, they kind of rebooted the franchise. Was it number 4? After 3, they kind of rebooted it, and they understood what they were. It was like, when you're learning how to walk, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is what we are. And that's what they've been going with. So now it's all about just Ethan Hunt doing crazy crap. And the crazy crap he's doing is awesome. And the story follows his stupid stuff. And I didn't realize like the trick that he was going to do on the bike. He had no idea what he was supposed to be doing. He's going up the mountain. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, so you want me to jump off? What? I thought that was very cool. The team being a small knit team was very cool. Mm-hmm. They did exactly what you have to do in a movie: create meaning from death and all that stuff. I thought that was cool. They did foreshadow a lot of it coming, but more than anything, it just was so entertaining. Like, Ethan Hunt is on the level of 007 for me right now. Yeah. Like, this is what he is. He's become, without them giving him James Bond because he's American, he's made a James Bond entity in this movie. Like, it's the last 3 have just been so good. They know what they're doing. All the stuff that's going on, the Dubai part, it's like a great chess game. It's like watching from the outside a great chess game and seeing all the parts move, and we get to the pleasure of watching it from the outside. So yeah, I love this. And then thinking about, you're playing basically against a supercomputer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And having to go analog, which brings it back to being just us people, you know, against this supercomputer that's all on the internet, that's everywhere. So I mean, I love the concept. It's very smart. All the parts, all the characters, I enjoy all of them. You know, it's funny because like though it's spy stuff, so everyone's like stabbing each other in the back, but it's still like they still know who they are. It just worked so very well, and yeah, and I love Haley Atwell. So,
oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, both of you guys are right. Also with what part did you say? The jumping off the mountain thing. It was like so cool because everyone saw they did a whole teaser trailer thing a year ago of them, but just the whole video was them about that one stunt, you know. And then you find out in the movie that it all took place where he didn't even know where he was going. So it was like it's like so funny because like they set you up like a year ago with like, oh, there's so much time and effort and planning and blah 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 into this one stunt, but in the movie it's just like he just figures it out and jumps off. So I was like, I did like that because like they hyped it up a very different way in the trailer or in that teaser documentary, whatever you want to call it, you know, of just the jump, and then it was something very different vibes of that jump in the movie, you know. So but that was pretty cool.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
The hand-to-hand combat was very good.
I was just gonna say that.
Almost John Wick type of stuff. It was so good. And there's like very little CGI besides the whole in train jumping crap. But everything else was just like real stuff happening. So I don't want to throw that in there. But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, you know, the combat was great. Like the sword/knife fighting was really good. The hand-to-hand, like Tom Cruise, like it was really well choreographed. Like it was good fighting. I really like that. And it looked gorgeous every time they went somewhere. It just like the director made sure to show off like, oh yeah, we're in Venice or we're in Dubai or something like that. Like everything looks great. Even the opening-ish action scene in the sandstorm kind of thing. I thought that looked it was so cool.
Really cool.
It's hard to see, but that was like part of the point. But it looked really cool, and it was just like stuff happening all over the place. It reminded me of like a Call of Duty game almost, but like on steroids and in real life.
Like you saw the sandstorm coming, and then you can see that he planned it. He didn't make a plan. He just adapted. That's the best part about it. He adapts.
That's all he does. Well, they even make fun of that in the movie where I think Grace, which is Haley Atwell's character, is like, he goes, "Oh, I just need the details," and then Benji was like, "Oh no, we don't do that. That just tends to get in the way more." So I was like, and that's what I did like about the movie is like it was very aware of how crazy over the top it was at times, and borderline very silly, you know, with it, but it made sense, and them just poking fun at themselves a little bit was good. And I think that's the proper way to handle something like that, you know, where like say comparatively like Fast and Furious, it's crazy over the top, but they hardly poke fun at itself. And I think if they did that, you might get a little bit more. They do it a little bit, not as much. This one did it kind of a few times I can really think of. But for me, Isai Morales, who played Gabriel, awesome,
yeah.
Because like he's the bad guy, but he's really only the avatar for the bad guy. He's speaking on behalf of the bad guy. Yep. So it's really cool because he is a very cool bad. He's a great actor too. But just the whole thing, he goes, "I know what you're gonna do. I'm gonna have that tomorrow." And you know, it's like, how? He's like, don't worry about how. Don't worry about the details. I'm gonna, you know, that's what I like.
It will be in my hand at 4 p.m. I'm just letting you know.
Like it was awesome. It was awesome. He was a great bad guy, and him being countered Tom Cruise, I thought was really cool because every time Ethan Hunt saw him, he just kind of like almost missed it, you know. And there's a part I don't want to spoil, but on the train, you know, where you're like, do it. Wait, don't do it, but do it. No, don't do it. You know, and it's a really cool moment there But Vanessa Kirby comes back. She was great. Palm was Paris. She was like this big fighter chick kind of one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't understand. I was like, why is your face
Yeah.
always painted? I'm like, are you sad? Are you a sad clown?
Yeah, but she hardly talked.
I was like, go be Mantis. What are you doing?
Yeah, but it was definitely a fun time, high action. And one thing I think Zach Attacks did a review on it, so go check out his review too. But he put something on Twitter where he goes that this movie is just a sophisticated Fast and Furious. And I was like, yeah, this is Fast and Furious for the fancy people. That I think exactly what it is.
No. There was no space. There was no space.
Not yet.
The final.
Guess who's going to space for the next movie? Literally, he is literally going to space. Yeah. Go ahead.
The last couple minutes of the movie did kind of remind me of Fast X, just with explosives being rigged to a bridge, and then it ends with a submarine.
I didn't even think about that. The parallels.
Only this did not suck.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's a more well thought out version of the madness. Though. Yeah, it makes sense.
He's a spy. Dom is a mechanic.
Yeah. He's well. I guess he was just a burglar. Like, what was he before he became? Because they talked about that too, where he had to make a choice.
Impossible before, he was just a guy, whatever,
like a really well skilled guy. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was definitely like a fancy Fast and Furious, but just done smarter. But the action is over the top, silly, which is not bad. Like, people say that, and I feel like they always mean it or might be taken as a bad thing, and sometimes it's not. 007 has always been over the top, silly action, and 007 is one of the all-time greatest action spy movies franchises ever. But Mission Impossible, look out, man, because like you said, Ethan Hunt might be the next 007.
He's in a lot of places, a lot of ways he's better. Like, I'll take Luther over him. I'll take Ethan Hunt over 007.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So, but cool. Let's get to some of these comments real quick, and then we'll move on to our bad. Brandon Davis said, love the MI7, but it's not the best of the franchise. Ooh, let us know which one the best one is. This MI7 was very different animal than its counterparts. Yeah.
And also because it was a half of the movie too.
Half of the story.
So you only know half of what's going on, so they had more time to develop it.
Yeah. You gonna say something, Brandon?
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that, but I think all the Mission Impossible movies kind of have their own kind of individual vibe and feel to them. I know that I had mentioned with McQuarrie coming back to write and direct this one. This one and the two before it all kind of feel like a little more in their own kind of like they're kind of grouped together to an extent, but still they each kind of have their own different feel at the same time, which is something that I've always liked about the Mission Impossible movies. And that's always been the franchise's vibe. The first one had its own tone, the second one had a very different tone, the third one had a different tone than that, and so forth. It's something I really, really enjoy about the franchise, and I think at this point the series is in a very comfortable spot because I think it kind of took them a while to kind of find their groove. I think I don't think they really hit their groove or their stride until Mission Impossible 3, and then
they reset everything in 4 though. That's why I think 4 was almost like an entire reboot, and then 4, 5, 6, and now 7. So I feel like the 3. I feel like 1 was good, 2 was bad, 3 was good, 4 was good, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7 like got better. Like,
when did the director come in?
He came in for Rogue Nation. 5.
5. Is it 5?
Yeah.
Rogue Nation.
Because Brad Bird, who did The Incredibles and Tomorrowland, he did Ghost Protocol, and then Christopher McQuarrie entered the picture.
4, 5.
And it's been there
5, 6, 7. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you said, yeah, those kind of all tied together a little
To
more.
a
But
big movie.
Ghost Protocol was for me, I think, when I really started liking the franchise more.
Ghost Protocol was great.
Yeah.
Like I said, I really, really loved 3 because it was the first one that really, really like felt like a
Hmm.
kind of whodunit type thing, which I appreciated. And then the second one was just exactly what it was marketed as, a John Woo movie.
Yeah,
I,
that's
Mhm.
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can barely like comfortably call it a spy movie. It was just a full on John Woo movie. It was
Hmm.
very much a product of its time, very much a product of early 2000s. Um,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think the second one's bad, but it's definitely like the redheaded stepchild of the whole series.
I
So
don't
what
think
no
it's
one
good.
talks about.
It's not
Yeah,
good. So
it was it
I don't
was
even remember it. So
yeah. I remember when it came out, like I thought it was like the coolest thing ever
at the time.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
but yeah, ever since 3, I think the franchise really just kind of started that upward trajectory.
Hmm. Yeah. See that. Go Hunt is better than 007, and I can prove that. So the movie is basically Age of Ultron. Hmm,
he didn't create the thing that.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's just like you versus a CGI, not CGI, but like an AI that's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Kind of.
He didn't create that. That the thing about
Yeah.
Age of Ultron is that Stark created the the AI,
Yeah, the
gave
good
it
guy
life.
made the bad guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I get where you're going with it. Compared to the others, wasn't a lot of fighting. Really?
there's a lot of gun. There's a lot of gun stuff. There's a lot of shooting. There's a half the. I mean, 3/4 of the movie's fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of fighting.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it starts off with a big action scene. I mean, it's not hand to hand fighting,
But it's still
right now,
shooting and
but
it's dodging and all that other
Yeah.
stuff and yeah.
yeah, he had the sandstorm in part 4. I don't remember that.
In
I remember-
when
I
they were
remember.
in Dubai, right?
Dubai, yeah.
Xavier said, "MI is more refined version of Fast and Furious." Exactly. It's like we know we're crazy, but we're gonna be a smart crazy.
Exactly. At least it's gonna make sense.
Yeah. I continue to watch these movies over Bond any day.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see if they redo Bond a little bit, make Bond more like this. But
Bond hasn't been cool in
in a while.
since Sean Connery.
The last
Pierce
guy,
Brosnan was okay, but
the last guy, Daniel Craig, was pretty good, but it was a
never-
different version of
it was
Bond.
never interesting, to me. Daniel
Really?
Craig.
Casino Royale was really good.
Him as Bond, the movie was good, but him as a character was just like almost
'Cause it's a
overshadowed by the movie.
old Bond, so which is kind of an interesting take on it, but yeah, but I like it. And then Horror Geek said MI7 was a great movie to watch. My theater was filled with old people.
My theory was just filled.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, it was
It
a
was
full
packed.
house.
It was packed. Did you guys watch it in IMAX?
Yep.
Yep.
That's like the only way to watch it, right?
Mhm.
I'm glad they gave a hint, a tiny bit of backstory. Yeah,
Mhm.
which was cool. I was like that. It was just enough where you understood. It didn't spend 20 minutes figuring it out.
We're not gonna do a flashback and we're gonna do Boba Fett.
Yeah, I know. Spend most of the series. And then he said hand to hand, no way compared to the others.
But you know what?
Okay.
If you do
I'm
too
trying to
much hand
remember.
to hand with trying to do that, then you're really trying to be a John Wick because John Wick is taking it to a different level. There's no need to do that hand to hand as much. Go ahead to be the guns. Go ahead, show that you're still fighting. Do all the cool stuff. But you don't have to try to be anything else. John Wick has that genre on over there. Let's be our own thing right over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I had enough, but also it's like you're fighting a computer, so it's like it's all about outsmarting. Well, making one step over. Granted there are bad guys and blah blah blah, so there's gonna be some fighting, but for the most part, it's like being smarter, or outsmarting something and stuff like that. So I felt like yes, it had action compared to the others. It fell short, but to the others, it fell short. Okay. Well, that's a good segue into the bad stuff. So Brandon, felt like the action was a little short, not as good as the other movies. Our Brandon, what's some bad stuff that you like or didn't like?
And this is kind of like a common thing with some of the Mission Impossible movies. As much as I love them, sometimes they get a little overindulgent in terms of the length. So some of the stuff could have been trimmed. I think that would be my best. That would probably be the number one thing that kept going through my mind the entire time. I think that it's getting a little tedious with Ethan Hunt, like having these women constantly in his life who are constantly either like getting killed or something bad happening to them. Mm-hmm. It's like the whole flashback.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The whole flashback scene, before he joined IMF, and it was a woman getting murdered, or that was like part of his motivation for wanting to go after Gabriel. It's just getting a little tedious, I guess, with these women in Ethan's life. I'd say those are probably my top two. And on one hand, I kind of get why they went with an AI villain, because like Ethan Hunt's conquered like pretty much every human villain that he's faced. So the AI was an interesting route. I'm kind of curious to see if there's payoff in the next movie with that, or they pay it off the right way. But I'd say those are my things.
Okay, what you got, Brian?
I feel like they repeated themselves a lot as far as the team and all that stuff. I think the way they're talking was very, just too much very wordy. They said the same stuff over and over again. They kept on saying the same thing over and over, like in every conversation about Ethan Hunt, about what he does, and they kept on saying it was just the same stuff I'm hearing over and over. All the dialogue was just kind of just almost useless, and for a movie that's 2 hours and 43 minutes long, why are you giving me the same dialogue 14 times? I don't need that. I think that you could trim that by saying it once, and then let's not go back to it. We already know who Ethan Hunt is. We already know people around him died. We already know that you don't think it's a good idea. We we understand what's going on. So I thought that was really the biggest part of it. But overall, I mean, it was a good movie. So I'm not gonna sit there and give all these bads. It knows what it is. It knows it needs to have action, and that's all we really need.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. The runtime was way too long with Brand. That's what Brandman said. A lot of the dialogue was repetitive. A lot of the scenes with Ethan and Grace were very repetitive, and Xavier brought it up perfectly.
Didn't we already see it before? Like,
it's like the bad. How many times did Ethan keep chasing after Grace? The first time I'm like, okay, I get it. You did the first time because you think you're smarter than everybody. You don't know the full scale of everything. Okay. Yeah. The second time I was like, okay, people are trying to kill you and you're running. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe you think you're better off. By like the fourth, fifth time, when she just found out that the world's all going to end because there's an evil eyeball robot that's going to destroy everything. Mm-hmm. Why? She runs again. I was like, you're dumb. At this point, just run and just go die because you're stupid. It's like, like, what are we talking? What are we doing? It's like, I'm like, why does she keep running? Like, to me, I know why she has to, because she has to go to certain places by herself. But I'm like, if the issue is her just keep running away from Ethan Hunt, then that's lazy writing for me. That's like, what's the issue? It's like there should be another issue besides like, oh no, the guy that keeps saving me can't save me this time, so I'm gonna run away. I was like, what? So that was my biggest issue, was especially after that last time when Also, when you find out you're in the robot kind of thing, like the party is the AI, which was kind of funny. And she's like, oh, let me just run away. I was like, the thing knows who you are and everything, where you're at and everything. Why leave the only guy that keeps saving your butt? So
for real.
I thought that was a little silly for me. And also, like, I kind of chuckled a little bit, even though the scene was super cool when you find out that the party is like the AI, because there's an episode of Futurama where Bender becomes so smart. He actually becomes the courthouse, and then so I kind of chuckle because I'm like, I've seen this before, where like you're inside the smart robot that's trying to take over the world, kind of thing. But even saying like stealing ideas, I thought of that, but there was Uncharted, the writer and director of Uncharted, the video game, pretty much is like, oh, I'm glad you got inspiration from somewhere. And it was like shot for shot. Here's what the video game is. Here's the clip from Mission Impossible. It was like the train falling, him hanging out. I'm like, wow. Like, tell me you didn't play that video game.
Yeah, but everyone has done that same type of thing. As the cars fall. This is not the first time you've seen any of that. Yeah,
but it's just, this thought it was kind of like a little too close for me. But that, and then when Grace starts driving the Fiat, I thought that was a little too, I get what they're trying to do. Like the car's so powerful that even Ethan Hunt couldn't, drive it right away. And then she gets it and she starts doing donuts and she's like, I can't turn any other direction. And she keeps doing donuts. Like, even me and my girlfriend were laughing. We're like, that was so stupid, over the top. That's the part where I'm like, is this a Fast and Furious movie? Like, at that point, because I was like, she can't get out of a donut. And I was like, is she just a bad driver? Like, are they just saying women are bad drivers? I don't get what they're trying to say here. Like, it was just too goofy for me. It didn't ruin it. It was still a great chase scene with it all. But I thought that was like, okay, like, so like she can't drive and Ethan Hunt can't pick locks.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say like, so you're a spy, you can't pick a lock.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you keep on allowing girls with pretty smiles to go ahead and mess you up. Like, bro, you need to go Pretty Girl Anonymous and figure out how to not get caught up. You usually learn that lesson about 24. You're 60.
Yeah, right. He is like 60. But yeah, man, that's which is crazy because like pretty much most of the issues are with Haley Atwell's character, but I loved her. I actually did like Grace. I thought she was good. I don't know if she's gonna be a good replacement for Rebecca Ferguson's kind of character, because I did like her character a lot.
She's a stronger character.
Yeah, more independent, more strong. Like Grace seems.
Well, Grace would work better with a team.
Yeah,
she's gonna work better with the team.
Yeah,
and she'll be able to fit right in as as the thief. He's gonna teach her how to be a grifter, that type of thing. Like that she will work better with them.
Yeah. And I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a part where like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. It's my fault. And then all the other guys on the team, they're like, it's not your fault. Don't worry. I was like, what? It's 100% her fault. Like, I'll be pissed off. Yeah. And then 5 minutes later,
you're married. I mean, you had your girlfriend for a long time. If it's her fault, if it's Erica's fault, do you tell her it's her fault all the time?
No, but
women, you can't do that.
With I don't want to spoil what she did.
Yeah, no.
But also, I met her yesterday. If I met Erica yesterday, or anybody like yesterday, and you done and did that, I was like, I will gladly get rid of your ass. Like you shut up. Like, and you keep running away. Like, stop. Yeah. So it's a difference.
We should have chloroformed her and now been in for running. Just done. Yeah. Stop running. That's it.
Yeah. So that was like, I'm like, and then he's like, after 5 minutes, he goes, my life's more important than yours. I was like, you don't even know her.
I said that too. I was like,
you don't even know her.
You've known her for 15 minutes, bro.
But that's the whole thing of so Fast and Furious has family. This has friendship. And they say that right away in the airport scene. Right away in the airport scene. It's like, so what's more important, family or friendship? It's like
makes you think they knew they were going to be compared to the Fast franchise.
They had to have known, right? Let's get through some of these real quick, and then we're gonna finish things up. Hold on, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Brandon said, "Yep, the great stuff pissed him off too." And we got Perp and Naz. What's up, Perp?
What's up?
I still feel like the last 3 films are better than this one.
I could see 5. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but
4 and 6. I'm not
4,
sure.
4, 5, 6. For sure, the last 2 I enjoyed a lot. FYI, the sand scene in part 4 was better than the sandstorm scene. Yeah,
but it was short. This one was very short. I mean, this wasn't the main part. It was just something getting to her.
Started off, just started off with a little bang. Yeah. Hunt picked the handcuffs in part 4 when he was laying in the hospital bed. Good call out, man. I don't. Maybe
he didn't have a pretty girl smile in his face, and that's when he just
and a train about to hit him. So, I don't know. Dialogue was very off, especially whenever they did those group. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. The dialogue is very different, and I wonder if that's Rebecca Ferguson. Like, because whenever she was with the group, it felt complete better. Just made more sense. So I don't know. They could have brought back was it Sandy Newton?
Sandy Newton. You don't know who Sandy Newton is?
Brain fart.
Oh my god.
Check for Mission Impossible 2.
Well, forget that. That's Sandy Newton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now you made me look it up, man. Oh yeah.
Like Sandy Newton is like very well known.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even remember number 2. It's been that long ago. Mm-hmm. She was in Norbert.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's of all the movies she's been in. Cool. You chose Norbert.
That's the first one that popped up that I saw. That I was like, oh yeah, Norbert. Norbert's such a stupid ass.
Not Westworld.
Not Westworld.
Yes,
she was in that one with Westworld. She was in that one with Hugh Jackman. That's about memories and things. Can't think of what that one's called.
I mean, she was.
Reminiscence.
Reminiscence. Yeah.
She was in Riddick. She was in 2012. I mean, Sandy Newton's been in a lot. Crash. Like you said, Norbit.
It just popped up. They blame Google. That's the first movie that popped up. And I didn't even remember her. I do remember her now, but I didn't think about it. But I know what Mission Impossible. So there you go, man. Brandon Davis. Action scenes were cool, but it's nothing that we haven't seen before. Yeah, it was just looked prettier, I think. I thought it was shot well and it looked well, but
it's also been a long time since we've had it, guys. We haven't had a Mission Impossible movie in some time, and we've had very disappointing movies coming in, and I think this is a breath of fresh air sometimes.
Yeah, especially when you get an action movie like John Wick, it's kind of like it pushed up the bar so high for action, craziness, stuff like that it's hard for any movie to kind of compete with that. But maybe we got spoiled because of that stuff. But it was pretty good. One last comment. Which is better, John Wick 4 or 7? And I think that's a lot of people. Or John Wick 4 or Mission Impossible 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save this. We're gonna talk about this later. We're gonna talk about this next. But there you go. He's like, no, we'll talk about that one next. Still better than top mid Maverick. I forgot I put mine to hate Top Gun. Top Gun was good.
I love Top Gun.
Forgot he hates Top Gun.
Yeah, you're on your own on that one, buddy.
All right, let's get this finished off with our official ratings. So over here at Spoiler Kings, we do things nice and easy. We do now, later, never. Now means you got to go watch it right now before it gets spoiled. Later means you can wait till it's out on DVD or streaming. Never means just skip it. Brandon, what you giving Mission Impossible 7?
this is a now. I really love this. It really had everything that I was looking for out of a summer blockbuster movie. It really kept my attention from beginning to end. Loved the action. Tom Cruise always brings it, and it left me wanting more. It left me really excited for the next one next year.
Yeah.
So now for sure,
Now.
no question.
Okay. Brian?
I don't know if it let me wanting more because it was so long. I don't know. I don't think I could have went through another half an hour. I've been like, I was ready to go. I'm good. You know, but it was definitely a good action-packed movie, enjoyable. I said it's my third favorite movie I've seen all year. This is definitely a now.
And for me, it's a now too. It's just super fun. Action was really fun. Shot beautifully. The chases were great. It's just I don't know what else to expect from a Mission Impossible movie than that was just crazy, insane stunts that just were well shot and just super fun. So I mean, I got what I wanted and some. I'll say, but I kind of agree with both of you guys with wanting more. Like I do want more, but I'll take a little bit of a break because 3 hours is almost 3 hours is a long time.
Yeah,
and then add another 20 minutes of the trailers and stuff. But
I was like, dude, if I'm going to have a second part of the movie, it better not be 3 hours long.
Yeah. Also, a funny part, unless you were at an AMC theater, you get the Nicole Kidman intro, and my girlfriend is like, "Oh, it's funny." She's like, she's hyping up AMC for Tom Cruise, her ex-husband's movie.
Exactly.
So.
I was like,
yeah, we said that to each other when we were at the theater that day.
Yeah, because you forget, and you're like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise, Kidman.
I was thinking like that was the first real Mission Impossible. Get away from Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
her get away from Tom Cruise.
I said that might be Mission Impossible number like 20. Because he says he wants to do it until he's 80. So he legit said that. He said he wants to do it as long as he can. He wants to do it as long as Harrison Ford has been around. Harrison Ford is 82, I think. So
can he still run like that when he's 80?
Boy, there's so much running in this movie. There's so much running.
The poster. It's him running. It's just him running. That's all it is. Beautiful sunset and him running.
I got him
just jumping off of the bike. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That dude was born running.
Yeah. Keep him running out. He's got good form. I'll give him that. He's got like the high knees, pumping those arms. Like he runs better than the Flash. So.
He runs better than us, and he's 61.
That's true. That's true.
Perfect form.
Cheek
to cheek, guys. Cheek to cheek.
Nonstop. But cool. Let's do our Rotten Tomatoes real quick. 96% on the tomato meter with the critics. 96. That's probably one of the highest, if not the highest of the year so far, I think. And then also with the audience, 94.
Spider-Man is higher.
Spider-Man's higher? Okay. But 94 with the audience. They're 2% off, and they're both in the 90s. I mean, that kind of tells you
it's a great movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been waiting
for
something like this. We've been waiting for something like this.
Exactly. So cool. And then one last thing, box office. Domestic, $78 million domestically.
That's cool.
International.
That's the international number.
International.
Exactly.
Holy crap. International, 155 international. That's which equals a total worldwide 234. This thing made 234.
Can you imagine if some of these other movies had that same foreign international type of money? Like, I mean, Fast X is the third highest grossing movie of the year. It had almost half a billion dollars came from international. This movie is going to have a very similar international numbers, but I think it's going to do better domestically. So that's why I say it's going to get to like 8, maybe even $900 million.
It's going to get really close. It's going to get really close. But yeah, I mean, it came out on Wednesday, so they had a 5-day release thing. But, talking about from Wednesday, 15 mil, Thursday, 8 mil, 16 mil Friday, 21 mil Saturday, 16 mil Sunday. Oh,
but I think
besides that Thursday,
domestically,
that's crazy.
I'm supposed to say
Best for them.
domestically, I don't think it's going to go over $220 million domestically. I don't think so. If Horror Geek was here, he'll tell us the numbers. I think
give a lot of stats.
About 220, 225 domestically, but that doesn't mean anything if internationally we're going to do $600 million. You know, so like that puts you in that $800 million range, which is crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So that's so much. I was like, wow. I mean, 78 is a big number from domestic, but that international number,
decent number, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, domestically almost doubled it was double international. You know, almost. You know, so
remember what I said about Fast X was over 500. It's 558 international money, right? International dollars. It only had 145 million domestically.
Wow,
that's all Fast X was 145 million dollars domestically, which is on the level of Indiana Jones. This is on the level of I mean, it's very low domestically. It's not a big domestic number. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. The international numbers. Oh, there you go. Horror Geek's probably gonna be around 650 to 700 range. Yeah. I could see it maybe going a little bit higher too, but
because I think if it gets 200 million world domestically, then that 500 million, almost $600 million pushes it up to $800 million range.
Yeah, close. Its lower domestic is going to put it below Fallout. So,
but Fallout did like 900 million. Isn't that what it did?
I don't know. On its opening weekend.
I'm talking about overall.
Overall,
Impossible Fallout did 220 domestically, 571 internationally for 791. I'm looking at numbers very similar to that for this one. I'm almost looking at almost exact type of numbers I'm looking at.
Yeah. The only bad thing is we got a stacked weekend next weekend. So I'm really curious. Yeah, Oppenheimer, Barbie, even Talk to Me. I mean, granted, I don't think it's gonna make a lot of money, but
once again, it'll hurt it domestically. I don't think the international numbers are going to continue to go up for Mission Impossible because no one from Oppenheimer, no one's going to see Oppenheimer in Germany,
Europe or Asia. Yeah,
none of that. No one's going to see Oppenheimer in any of those places. Come on, guys.
Exactly. It was on track for 90 mil. 78 still not bad. Yeah, not bad. So, but cool. I know there's a few other comments. We're going to talk about that next, but I think that's it for this review. Unless you guys got one last things, good and bad. Anything? Any last words, thoughts?
B.
That's pretty much it. I really, really liked it. I'm probably going to go again because my mom really likes the Mission Impossible movies. I told her I'd go with her. Look, that's usually like one of our things. We usually go see the Mission Impossible movies together, my mom and I. So I'm going to go again.
Cool. Cool.
Just got to figure out when.
Yeah, right. Anything else, Brian?
I just enjoy the movies. I enjoy the idea of the friendship and everything, but it was fine. It's Ethan Hunt running around doing stuff.
Yep.
And just he continues to do crazy things, and as long as he does crazy things, I'll go watch it. So that's it.
Exactly. And then right there, Xavier said it wouldn't be a MI film without Cruise running. Exactly.
You get Top Gun. Top Gun has to have volleyball, and Mission Impossible has to have running. That's just what it is.
I'm almost inclined to say it's not a Tom Cruise movie unless there's Tom Cruise running.
Yeah.
Running or jumping.
Jumping off of something. Oh, man. But cool. So that is our review, our thoughts with it. I think we stayed fairly spoiler-free because there's some big things that we didn't get into. Because I think people should go watch this. And I think we all gave it a now anyway.
Easily.
Yeah, so you should go watch it. There's a lot of things we didn't get into because they're spoilers. But Yeah, but leave a comment if you did watch it. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it. If you're watching it on replay, appreciate you guys. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We are 10 away at the moment right now. We are 10 away from 1,000. So we're hoping to get to that like this week, if possible. Yeah. So make sure you join the channel, and you can join us live as well. Like everyone in the chat down there, you saw joining us live. We appreciate all you guys live. Thank you guys with all your stats and your opinions on everything. We appreciate all you guys hanging out with us as well. But cool. If you're watching live, stick around. We're gonna talk about some other stuff, a little bit more Mission Impossible stuff. But stick around. We got our next topic.